Hi and welcome to my channel. This is Shakwe. You know, the first time I lived on my own as an adult, I was way far in a foreign land somewhere in the United States of America. So to say this was hard for me is an understatement. It was painful. It was the first time that I had to be responsible for my own meals, living expenses, transportation, my girl and boy relationships, and to be honest, I was really ill prepared. I had lived a very sheltered life where almost everything was done for me. So my first trip to a grocery store was particularly exciting. So many choices, cars parked in the parking lot, and everybody seemed to be in a hurry. But me, Minani, I wasn't looking to explore. I was looking for the food that I was familiar with. I wanted to feel at home. So I went from one aisle to another. Where is my bread? Where is my milk? Bananas? And of course, where are my mangoes? Where are my Farmer's Choice sausage? I looked for them. KCC butter, where are you? Of course, substitutes. And of course, my favorite passion fruit juice, where are you? So I loaded everything in the cart. The juice came frozen. And they just told me, just go add water. So I took everything and I'm so excited. I go home with my food and I can't wait to eat it. First things come, I went and prepared juice. So I'm anxious. I am so excited. I'm pouring it in a glass. And as soon as I take the first sip, I'm like, now what is this? It doesn't taste like passion juice that I had been accustomed to. I'm so disappointed, almost angry. How can passion juice taste different? That's what I was thinking. Then the next thing is I taste the bread, I eat the bread, but it was nothing like near the bread that I was used to. Whew. And I can't even tell you about the butter. So I start cooking. I don't even know how to cook. I had never cooked actually for anyone, even for myself, comfortably. So I'm rooming with 4 other girls in a 5-bedroom townhouse. They're all white Americans. And me, I'd never lived with a white person. Every time I'd see them cook, I'd ask them, how do you cook that? And by my asking, they assumed I didn't know how to cook because they say I've never used an oven because I'm from Africa. Oh my goodness. So I'm almost breaking down. Things aren't working out. I am getting out of my comfort zone and I am being stretched. I am being stretched. So before I tell you more, I want to engage you in a future thinking. So imagine it's 10 years from today. The year is 2029. It is September 2029, 120 months, 522 weeks, and 3,654 days. Where will you be? How old will you be? Your parents, how old do they be? Your children, how old do they be? Think of everyday routine that you have today. You still gonna keep that routine? Will you be driving? Will you be commuting? Will you be working? Will you be having a job then? Will you be sitting in the same cubicle? Will you have the same boss? Will you have the same friends? How about your bank account? How is it gonna look like? Will you be living in the same house? Will you be earning the same income? And will you have the same relationship, same friends? Will you be listening to the same sermons? Will you have the same pastor or the same spiritual leader? So if you answered no to any of these questions, it means you plan to get out of your comfort zone. And that is what I want to talk to you about today, getting out of your comfort zone. So let me ask you this. What kind of change are you willing to accept to get where you want to be in 10 years from today? Are you willing to initiate the stretch or will you wait for life to stretch you? The choice is yours. So back to my coming to America story. Where were we? So I lived in a small town then. There were very few public transportation options. Buses didn't go everywhere, and my small college that I was enrolled in was not part of the bus route or the JSA route, and Uber wasn't a thing then. Buses are on schedule, and let me explain. If they say the bus will be there at 10:30 a.m., it will be. It will pick everyone up, and then it will leave almost immediately. Hakuna story ya kungoja kujaza, or if you miss it, you can run after it and say, "Conductor, hebu simamisha." So you can understand my then newfound resentment. I'm beginning to think they are so wrong to do things the way I'm not used to. But you know what? I'm being stretched. A new order has been introduced. Planning, timekeeping, a new organization is being introduced, and I'm throwing tantrums. I don't like it, but I'm being stretched. I was doing the things that I had never done so that I can have the things that I needed to have. And I had two choices. Either embrace the process, the painful process, or whine and complain, whichever came easiest. You know what? Some days I would cry myself to sleep, but I was being stretched. So to get out of your comfort zone, you got to stretch. You know, John Maxwell, who writes about laws of leadership, one of the laws he has written about is the law of the rubber band. The law of the rubber band states that growth stops when you lose the tension between where you are and where you could be. So this is how he explains it, that the only useful or the only use for a rubber band is when it's stretched. So you don't buy a rubber band to keep it in its original position. It's not a decoration. You buy to hold things, and you have to stretch it for it to be useful. So the same has to happen to you. To be useful, you must be stretched. The only way you're going to add value to others, to maximize your gifts and talents, is you have to be stretched. You have to get out of your comfort zone. God has more for your life, but you have to reach out, and reaching out means stretching. So everything you have ever wanted is outside your comfort zone. In fact, they say life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So my experience is not unique. You know, I've had many other hilarious stories. In fact, I heard of one person who called her friend because she was a new driver in a new town, and she called for directions. And when asked where she was, she said, "I have reached where it says dead end." How do you help somebody like that? But that person is being stretched. So another one went to a restaurant, a burger joint. It was a drive-through only. She didn't have a car. What did she do? She had to eat. She did her drive-through through food. So she pangaed line between cars. Awkward, but she ate and lived to tell the story, being stretched in new environments. Another one went to a burger joint and ordered hamburger without meat and without cheese, and then ordered soda. So in other words, she was comfortable eating mkate na soda only. Hiyo ingine utaonea mbali, I tell you. Stretching, growth has awkward moments, but they don't last. You know, they all lived, and I lived to tell the story. And they now call that one strange place, they call it home. So when you get out of your comfort zone, you get more than what you initially were going there for. So don't be afraid to jump in and stretch yourself. You know, they say first they will ignore you, then they will laugh at you, then they will fight you, and then you will win. So I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and it's under Shakwe Tuya. Like my Facebook page and share this video, and I'll see you again next time. Thank you guys, and have a wonderful week.